Good morning. It is August 8th. It is 10:04. I call the meeting to order. All three county commissioners are here. I ask we rise for a moment of silent meditation and pledge to the flag. Thank you. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Consents and approvals from our county administrator. Go ahead.
Good morning.
Good morning.
We have 70 exonerations for $40,764.91, 6 requests for replacement tickets for $3,449.52, and 4 corrections to the submitted exonerations. We have minutes from August the 1st, 2018. Vouchers for General County Fund, $284,451.30. Call severance, $1,852.02. 911, $2,135.83. Chestnut Ridge Park, $2,752.81. Mason-Dixon Park, $1,939.48. Reallocated coal, $3,600. Assessor's valuation, $3,190.77. Purchasing card vouchers, General County Fund, $18,538.88. Magistrate Court, $59.90. 911, $373.09. Mason-Dixon Park, $672.48. Assessor's valuation, $6,226.50, for a voucher total of $325,793.06. We have position vacancies for boards and authorities. The Board of Zoning Appeals for the Western Planning District, the Mon County Planning Commission, River Road Public Service District, the Mon County Development Authority, and the Mon County Building Commission. Fiduciary orders for August 8th, 2018.
Move for approval.
Second.
Properly moved in second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Great. Do we have any introduction of any new employees or personnel changes? Seeing none, we'll move on. We now have comments from the public. If you could, please, if you could stand, state your name, your address, and you will have 3 minutes.
My name is Mark Prezaitis, 734 Courtney Avenue, Morgantown, West Virginia, 26501. Dear Commissioners, I thought I would come here today to speak about the need for a state-of-the-art two-sheet year-round ice rink at its current location in White Park. Other brave and talented people will speak to that issue. Besides, it's obvious that we do need a state-of-the-art two-sheet year-round ice rink in White Park. We've been planning that and paying for the plans for 4 years. Let's stop planning and build the rink. Please support the $8.5 million levy. Briefly, I want to apologize to the lady who spoke after me at the last meeting. Friends tell me she was right. She stayed to her 3-minute limit. She is advocating for a good cause. My main point, mental illness. If yelling at your daughters to grow up and support your dad and banging on their bedroom door to emphasize the point and saying, I have a realistic chance of winning a seat in the U.S. Senate as a write-in candidate constitutes bipolar disorder, also known as manic depressive disorder, and deserves to leave a city's deputy mayor and, just as important, the Mason-Dixon Figure Skating Club's vice president for Learn to Skate and the faculty advisor to the WVU Figure Skating Club in handcuffs for 4 hours, including a period in which he had to feed himself breakfast. There's something wrong with this picture. You don't know what bipolar disorder is. What I learned yesterday from living within West Virginia's mental health system from sunup until midnight, we have a long, long way to go before we're half as good as Pittsburgh. It didn't take a highly skilled, trained professional, a genuine psychiatrist at the Western Psychiatric Institute in Pittsburgh, more than 15 minutes to diagnose me. You're fine, go home. It's going to take us here in Morgantown a lot longer to figure out how to treat people with mental health issues, which is, frankly, the vast majority of our population, with respect and dignity. The vast majority of them are not dangerous to themselves or others. They are human beings struggling with the not-so-simple demands of life. Sound familiar? Handcuffs anyone. Lastly, a clarification on my exchange with Commissioner Bloom. I see the difference between real Democrats and Republicans is boiling down to this. Do you favor public solutions to community problems or private solutions to community problems? I favor public solutions. Commissioner Bloom, seems to favor private solutions. The proof, we talked about this when Commissioners Bloom and Sikora met with me and City Manager Paul Brake to discuss an ice rink levy. I have the video of that meeting. It cost me $5. I do want to thank Commissioner Bloom for publicly taking me up on my invitation to tour the Haymaker Forest. I knew he would be brave enough to do it, and he was. I didn't ask Commissioners Sikora and Hawkins to come on a tour with me. I should have. Commissioner Bloom, thank you. Thank you for walking in the woods with me. Another note, Ben Conley, Dominion Post reporter, also stepped into the forest with me. So did DP photographer Ron Rittenhouse. We are lucky to have such skilled journalists in our community. Finally, I'm attaching the first page of my discharge papers from the Western Psychiatric Institute and Clinic. According to U.S. News and World Report, it's the 8th best mental health facility in the nation. How'd I do for time, Commissioner Hawkins?
Perfect.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you very much, Mark. Okay, I'll wait.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who would like to speak? Sure, come on. If you state your name, address, and...
Yes. Oh, and I also am reading off my phone, so I apologize.
No, go right ahead.
So, hello, my name is Caroline Ludman. I live at 2190 University Avenue, Morgantown, West Virginia, 26505. I'm speaking on behalf of the W Figure Skating Club and as a student of the W Biochemistry program. But good morning. I'm here to speak about a new ice rink can benefit the community in Morgantown. A new accomplishment is that W Figure Skating was recently chosen out of 50 community projects to receive one of 6 nationally competitive grants to build a feeder team in our community. While this doesn't seem large, this is very, very competitive, and I think it states a lot that U.S. Figure Skating, which is the governing body for all ice sports, figure skating in the nation, has chosen our community to put investment and money and time into. With that being said, it shows that they have faith in our community to build up this program, but we can't do this without year-long ice. Students and community members alike have come together to make this a better place to empower youth. Now we need the community to follow suit. This is just the beginning. Of all the things that W Figure Skating has accomplished this season, which, to begin with, we were the first team to ever represent the school at any Eastern sectional competition, and we raised over $1,000 in funds, and we completed close to 60 hours of community service. However, we accomplished all of this with only an allotted hour and 15 minutes on the ice each week, whereas other teams have more ice time in a day. This shows that students and the youth of Morgantown want this area to be prosperous. We want to work hard, and we want this ice rink that we know that the community can help in more ways. The W and Morgantown skating communities are growing tremendously, but our infrastructure needs to continue to grow with us. We cannot have successful athletes in both skating or hockey if we continue to practice into the night and have limited time slots as is. There is so much potential to create an amazing skating community that could grow and feed off existing communities in Pittsburgh. As is, students from Pennsylvania, Virginia, Delaware, New Jersey have all come for campus tours from our leadership to be W skating members. Geographically, Morgantown has more potential for growth than other areas that have year-round rinks, such as Charleston, ever had. And now is the time to capitalize on the momentum that we have created. The talent, the instructors, and the passion is already existing in the Morgantown skating community. The foundation is set. All we need is a proper area in order to build a sustainable activity and health-oriented community that will both benefit and help rebrand the Morgantown lifestyle. So, on behalf of myself and the W Figure Skating team, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Good morning. I'm
morning.
Tony Christini, 931 South Point Circle, Morgantown. So I'm scheduled for a work session later this afternoon, so I'm just going to kind of touch on our proposal. There'll be several people who are going to present with me from Friends of Greenbelt. But I'm just going to, let me just read our proposed Bow Park levy here, just a summary of it, basically. So it's a proposal for a Bow Park levy to provide funding, maintenance, and acquisition of parks, trails, and recreational programs in Monongalia County. The total of the needed funds is approximately $2 million per fiscal year for the next 5 years. For the owner of a house assessed at $100,000, the levy would be estimated to cost about $23 per year. Levy funds will be used for the maintenance and/or improvements of parks and recreational needs and for park acquisition and development in the county. Any surplus funds received would be used for the same purpose. The levy funds will be collected and used for the following projects per year. Bow Park operation and maintenance at about $1.1 million. and Bow Park Haymaker Forest Park and Trails acquisition and development for just under $800,000. Bow Park has a lot of needs that have been long neglected. So I'd just like to read a few words from Bow Park itself in a statement it released last week and posted on its site. Bow Park says that one might assume that in a community such as Morgantown, where prosperity seems to be evident at first glance, there would be more than enough financial support to create and maintain beautiful green spaces and state-of-the-art facilities. While we truly wish this were the case, our city parks face many of the same issues that other systems are dealing with. Those include things like aging facilities, inadequate staff numbers, both of which are exacerbated by a lack of dedicated funding for both operational and capital needs. That pretty much says it all. But they add, when Bow Park was formed, we had a full-time staff of 18. Now, 37 years later, we have a full-time staff of 16. That's wrong. So they add, yes, we are severely understaffed. So that's one half the levy proposal, operation and maintenance for Bow Park, and then there's a green space, green acquisition proposal as part of that, which we'll talk about how they're unified. But I'll point out again that we're all county residents, whether we live in the city or not. Half of the Bow Park users are estimated to come from outside of the bounds of Morgantown, and yet the county commission doesn't fund Bow Park nearly as much as the city funds it. Yes, there is the levy from 2016, but that can be used only for the ice rink and not for the whole system. On top of these basic operating needs, the Bow Park has perhaps $35–40 million in additional capital needs. So you kind of got to work both angles. Okay, I'll talk more about this this afternoon.
Thank you. Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else who'd like to speak? Thank you all. We'll move on. We have Colleen Kuhn with grants, and she has no grants today. Okay, we didn't get any grants. Correspondence. Do we have any correspondence?
Yes, we received a package yesterday from CTL Engineering. It is the WVU Medicine Willowdale Road Widening Project Stormwater Report. It's on file here if anybody wants to see it.
Okay. Thank you. Anyone else get correspondence? Okay. Unfinished business. Do we have any unfinished business?
No, sir.
Moving on. New business. To consider approval for requisition number 7 for the Morgantown Industrial Park Series 2018A Phase 2 Project Fund.
It is request number 7.
2017A. I apologize.
Yeah. Request number 7 is $20,000 made payable to Adrian Enterprises for project management.
Move for approval.
Second.
Properly moved in second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Do we have any other new business?
Yes.
Good.
We received the approval back from the state auditor's office on our general fund carryover revision. There was a note included regarding the carryover amount because it was in excess of 10% of. It's not that it's not allowable, but they want justification.
Right.
So we've got a letter prepared, just outlining some projects that we have in process, and that we had $1 million more in revenue last year. So pretty much just reiterating what Commissioner Sikora said the day that we approved that on July 25th, I think it was. So
Okay.
just need your approval.
Second.
Properly moved in second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay.
And one more item. I did receive a formal application from the West Virginia Black Bears for Home Run and Hopscraft Beer Fest. That will be September the 9th, I believe. They've got a cost proposal, setup and removal of infrastructure for $5,000, cleanup $2,500, and security $2,500 for a total of $10,000.
Okay. We have always done a $5,000 for each event. Is that not correct?
Correct. Cap, yeah.
So stating that, how do you want to proceed?
I'd like to propose that we approve $5,000 towards this request.
Second.
Properly moved in second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Yeah, I think that stays.
And for historical standpoints, we funded the same level last year.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Good. And that's what we continue to do. It allows us to have more events at the
And
$5,000.
so people know that this is a fund that we have specifically for events at the Monongalia County Ballpark.
Exactly.
We set aside approximately $25,000 a year, which we get from the ground lease for that, our agreement with West Virginia University, and we put that money aside for community events.
Yeah. And I do want to emphasize what you said. It's from the ground lease. It's not actual dollars. It's the lease that we get and we use it and give it back in. Great. Does anyone else have any other new business? Okay. If not, reports from elected officials. I know we have a report.
Yes.
Thank you. Morning, Carrie.
Good morning.
Good morning.
As you know, we're coming quickly upon our general election, and I just wanted to bring to the commission's attention once again some precinct changes that we made in the May primary election. So you ordered some temporary and permanent precinct changes in May, and I would just ask that you reaffirm those changes for the general election. Our precincts are going to stay the same as we used them in May, and I will just review those again with you. Precinct 10, we changed from the Monongalia County Health Department to the WVU Alumni Center, and we will be using that again in November. Precinct 23 and 25 was a temporary change in May because of the construction at St. Mary's Church, and we temporarily moved it to the WVU Alumni Center for the May primary only, so it will properly be going back to St. Mary's Church for the November general election. Precinct 44 and 48, we changed from the Restoration Church International to the Granville Fire Department Bingo Hall Station 2, which is the Granville building at Osage, what we commonly know as Osage. Precinct 71 was changed from the West Side Senior Center or Westover City Hall to the Westover Community Building, which is located behind the former Shop and Save building. So these are the same precincts that we used in May. I just think that in making sure that the public is, if you have some voters who may not have voted in May, that they are aware that these are the precincts that we're going to use for the general election.
I move to approve the county clerk's recommendations for these changes.
Second?
Properly moved in second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much. Also,
Well, thank you. I just wanted to also talk to you for a moment about early voting.
Right.
We will, in the May primary election, we were fortunate to have 4 early voting locations, one at Mountaineer Mall, our election center, one at Mason-Dixon Park on the western end, Westover Community Building, so that we had an early voting station in Westover, and we also use the WVU Alumni Center as an early voting location. And since the general election is in November and early voting will begin on October the 24th, that falls in the middle of football season for the WVU Alumni Center, so we will not be able to use that location as an early voting site. At this point, we do have 3 locations, the Mountaineer Mall, Mason-Dixon Park, and Westover. I am trying to find us a location. We formerly had a location during one election at Pierpont Landing, that subdivision, and I'm going to see if we can find a storefront there that maybe we can go in. But there is a possibility that we may only be running 3 early voting sites for this general election.
thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Carrie.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Kelly.
On behalf of the sheriff and the tax office, I did want to let everyone know that we mailed out the coral-colored bills about 3 weeks ago, and if taxpayers have not received them, that if they would please call the tax office, and we will resend those because we have bins of bills that have been returned to us for incorrect addresses downstairs, and we're trying to get those back out, but as we're collecting the thousands of payments that are coming in, this way we'll be sure that taxpayers will get their bills before they miss the discount. And also...
When is the discount so we get to public?
September 1st.
Okay, so we can get that in the paper.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay?
Thank you. Is there anyone else who'd like to speak who's elected official? Seeing none, Sean, you may go first.
Okay. This week, I've had a couple of events. Monday, and this is something I wasn't aware of at all, but I was invited to present an award in front of the Civil Air Patrol. I didn't even know what the Civil Air Patrol is. It's kind of a quasi private government group. It's kind of like an ROTC for people interested in air and avionics. But I was asked to present the George Ira C. Eaker Award, which is the second most prestigious award offered to cadets in this program. And the individual, I hope I don't butcher her name, but her name was Nadish Hongpasan, and she's a very, very impressive individual. Again, I was asked to present this because the regional commander or elected official has to present this award. So it's a big deal. There's only about 3,500 of these that have been awarded in the country since its inception in the late 90s. So it's pretty impressive, and given my affiliation or my work with the airport, I was interested to learn some of the things they do. They have an educational component. They have a search and rescue component when people are lost. I mean, it's all volunteer. It's completely volunteer. So again, there's another example of people that do things in this community that we're not even aware of, of the volunteer effort out there. So I was happy to be asked to participate, and I'd like to participate more going forward just to learn, some of the things they do. Tuesday, we had our extension building project team finance meeting, and everything seems to be moving along. As you go up to Milan Park, you can see the pile of dirt, the pile of rocks growing, but we're moving along. This morning, I had my IT progress meeting with the IT team, and there's a number of things that we'll discuss in staff reports, but we have a lot of moving parts, and everything seems to be moving forward. This week, I have our monthly runway extension development team meeting on Thursday, and our development authority meeting on Thursday. But other than that, it's a fairly light week. Mark, I'm glad to see you here today. Honestly, I reached out to you yesterday. I was concerned about you and your family. I have and always consider you a friend, so I'm glad to see you up and walking around, and I hope the family's well, and I hope that wherever you need to go to get everything well.
This is where I need to go to get everything well.
But anyhow, I'm just happy to see you.
I appreciate it, Sean.
As a friend, I was going to mention it regardless whether you're here or not, but you're here, and I still, wish you well.
What I said yesterday in my text, you have it. In terms of the ice rink, I asked you to read that.
Oh, yes, and I was going to read that in the meeting, but yes, you did forward me that, and Mark had sent me a text yesterday because he wasn't sure if he was going to be here in regards to the ice rink proposal. What he read was, politics should not get in the way of a sound plan to build a new state-of-the-art year-round two-sheet ice rink. We need a new rink at the current location at White Park. It would be an extraordinary economic generator, and it would begin the rival of Bow Park and indeed our entire city. Thank you, Mark Rositis, 734 Courtney Avenue, Morgantown, 26501, faculty advisor to the W Figure Skating Club and vice president of Learn to Skate for MDFSC. So, as requested, I was going to read that in the meeting that we were going to have.
I misunderstood. I thought it was sorry.
That's okay.
Okay, thank you.
I also attended the Finance Committee meeting on the new Extension office, but relative to that, the sale occurred at the fair on Saturday night, and I was thankful to see Mark, the city mayor, and another city council person there. And it's a big thank you, I think, to people who volunteer. As Sean said, the fair is an effort of volunteer individuals who decide to put on a community event. And again, a very great fair. We had some challenges because of what's going on with the creation of the new Extension office, but next year will be the 10th anniversary, and I'm looking forward to really even better and bigger things in the future.
Is that it?
That's it.
Well, that's a short one. Okay, first, I have a poster here because the Cheat Lake Regatta, and I want to hand, could give one. Okay. It's called Light Up Cheat Lake, and Cheat Lake Regatta is August 11th. It's this Saturday. There's the canoe race, kayak race, paddleboat race, and the whatever floats race. They now also have a boat poker run, and also for those people who've never been on Cheat Lake, there are going to be boat tours for everyone. And they have the infamous largest 0K race in the state of West Virginia. So again, if people can come, it's a great way for the community and also to get away with, I believe that's check-in for WVU students, so if you want to get away for a couple hours, we'd love to see you out there. And I also want to respond, Mr. Christini, your comment, just for clarification, you said that the county does not fund at the same rate Boat Park as a city, and that's because that is not our function. Our function, it is a city function. The city decided about 20 years ago to separate from the city and the county. Therefore, we don't give funds to any body from any city, whether it be Westover, Star City. However, we have a process, and we allow Boat Park to be a part of that process where they ask for funding and we give grants for the, we do not fund the city streets department, the city attorney, or any other individual city offices would be the same situation, but we do fill up 100% the Boat Park request the last several years. So that's the difference between the city and the county funding, because it is a city-run park, and we run county parks, and that's all. I just wanted a clarification, and we'll discuss that when you have your proposals. But no, you can't talk.
Okay.
Thank you. You'll be able to
Gotcha.
at that time. Okay. Thank you very much. Do I have a motion for adjournment?
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Okay, properly moved and second. Thank you.